Growing up, I identified as black. That's what I saw myself as, and that's what all of the people around me were. But I am a Nigerian American, or what my friends would call me, African. And unfortunately, when I was growing up, I just didn't embrace that the way that I should have. So my name is Folasade Ogunmogun, and I decided to go by Sade Ogunmokin. So people would call me everything from OK Monkey to African Booty Scratcher. And that made me disassociate myself with who I was until I went to Howard University. When I went to Howard, I developed a new sense of self, and I started meeting other people who were in tune with their culture and an understanding of where they came from, whether it be Nigeria, Ghana, the Caribbean islands. It didn't matter. Like, they had an understanding of who they were and their culture, and it made me really want to know more about my culture. So I made it a huge mission to go to Nigeria in 2016 and to meet my family, to explore this world that I didn't know enough about. So anyway, I went to Nigeria to learn more about myself, and I went with an amazing group. And there were people who weren't Nigerian that went on this trip, and they are traditional African Americans, which means that their ancestors were enslaved. And remember, half of me, that's my history too. But their ancestors were enslaved, which means that they don't really know where they're from. Their identity was erased from them, and going to Nigeria was me finding my other half of my life, but for them, it was them touching home base, and it was just finding out what they were missing. And while I had an amazing time connecting with my family, their stories stuck out more to me because these people went as one thing, and when they got there, they went through a naming ceremony. They came back as completely different people. Some of them still go by those names. Some of them have used those names for their businesses. Like the experience that they had of connecting to themselves was so deeply rooted that it changed my perspective. And, we had to travel thousands of miles in order to get this realization of who we are. And I thought about the people who can't do that. I have two sisters who also are Nigerian American who still have not gone back to Nigeria, and their story is different. So I tried to figure out a way to connect all of us. We can share our stories and where we can be our authentic selves. And that's where Unscripted comes in. So Unscripted is a streaming network for creatives across the diaspora to share their stories, their documentaries, their music videos, their shows, their everything. And it's a linear platform, which means that if you have a show that comes on at 8 a.m., it comes on at 8 a.m. And somebody else's comes on at 9, and it just flows throughout the day, so you can just tune in when you need to and watch what you want. It's beautiful because it's not just about the content, but it's also about supporting our businesses. So we have a great cooperative economics embedded into the whole platform. And having ads run while these shows are going, that connects people to their marketplace. So that way, if, let's say, I have on this dress that is from somebody's store and we want to talk about it, there's a link that will pop up and you can just directly click on it and be like, I want that dress, and buy it without ever leaving, without ever missing me speaking. And I really think that's going to change the game. That's a game changer, because not only are we going to be able to support Black content, but we'll also be able to support businesses that aren't getting the visibility that they need or that we ultimately want to purchase from. And I just find it beautiful. But while I'm saying that we are focusing on content creators and we are focusing on businesses, the truth is we're focusing on the people who have been yearning to watch all of this type of content, who have been asking for it. I've been listening to you. I've been watching you on YouTube. I've been just kind of picking up on the pain points of the people in my community. It's a place for us to put ourselves on, because we no longer need to ask for validation from anyone else. We don't need permission to create our own content or to have our own space. So this is us saying, let's do this. And the only way that we can do it is if we do it together.